Right, hi everyone. What I am going to do right now is I'm going to paint myself up my librarian. I have really been debating about how I should do this librarian because on one side, I do actually like to do a proper all blue librarian. I think they kind of break the pattern of a Space Marine army, but on the other hand, I also really like the color scheme that I've chosen for my Emperor's Sons, and that pushes me towards a bit of a dilemma about how I should approach doing this. So, what I've decided after quite a lot of thinking, to be quite honest, is I've decided that I am actually going to paint this using Macragge blue. So, I'm going to stick to the standard colour scheme of a librarian. But in order to, allow him to kind of blend in with the rest of the force, I'm going to just kind of leave his right shoulder and do those in a split colour scheme. That way he will have certain elements of the Emperor's Sons, but he will still be, for all intents and purposes, in the official kind of librarian colour schemes. Now, that means I can pretty much at this point follow the tutorials. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with my Macragge blue. Try and get it just kind of a little bit quickly down, basically. I'm trying to be very careful not to get any of this on his face because I don't want it on his face. I want to keep that a grey complexion for when I do the skin tones later on. The good thing about this guy is I'm really going to be able to push a lot of kind of gold and trimming and edgings on him, which is something that I really want to achieve properly on this guy. Now, of course, I'm only going to paint him up to the point of the tutorial in the issue that he came with, which off the top of my head, what are we on with that one? I forgot now what issue this guy was from. I really should check those things before I start doing my videos. There's my brain going to sleep. I hope my camera's zooming in well on him. Okay. Trying to kind of do this in a bit of a hurry as well, because I don't really want to be taking all day about this, to be quite blunt. It's a problem with these kind of base coats, isn't it? They're going to take a bit of doing and they take a while to put down, which is why I'm actually using this medium basing brush that we got. Is it with this issue actually? I don't usually like using these kind of brushes as well with non-metallics. I've personally found that synthetic brushes stain very easily, particularly with colours like blue. So when I'm done, I'm really going to have to give this brush a good scrub. Right, don't really want too much blue. Oh no, I did put blue in the right place on this side. Yeah, there. You might notice that I've started off on a zenithal. Now, admittedly, when you put down a completely solid base colour, these kind of patterns don't always, this kind of shading doesn't always bring much to the table, but it does create even the slightest, even though it's hard to perceive, it does create a slight change in colour tone along. Of course, I'm going to look at this after I'm done. I'm going to see that it's streaky, which probably means I'm going to need a second layer, but I won't do that straight away. It might be something to do off camera later on, so I can carry on putting down other colours to show you all what my pattern and approach is overall. And I do apologise, but I have recently got over a terrible flu and I still got a bit of a cough now and then. I'm wondering what approach to take to get, you know, like the runes done, all these kind of inscriptions on his armour. That'll be an interesting part of the painting when we get up to it, because obviously with it being following the magazine's tutorials, I wonder if they're going to teach that technique properly or if I'll have to use my own approach. Which, in all honesty, if I do have to use my own approach, it'll probably be me creating a wash that I push into the recesses. Gosh, that's a lot of blue. The thing is, although it's a very cold day, I've managed to get my house nice and warm, so my wet palette's drying very quickly. I need to put a bit of moisture on it. See, getting a bit more of a watery paint when you need to get into tight areas is a must, in my opinion. You know, I'd rather do a few layers than try and just force things through. Okay, how are we getting on here? It's coming along now, it's getting in there. Slowly but surely. I won't normally paint big areas on a camera, but I kind of wanted to show really the whole process on this one. So if you feel like the paint isn't flowing into those inscriptions, just really add a bit of water to your paint and it will flow in. What you don't want to do is slap it on thick hoping it'll go in, because that'll just, unfortunately, that'll just kind of kill the colour more than anything. It'll kill the details, not the colour, kill the details. Just trying to make sure I'm getting into the recesses everywhere so that it's properly done. Fortunately, sometimes that means kind of getting your brush and dabbing in it. We're getting there. Oh, come on, get in there. Gosh, such a slow process, but hopefully definitely rewarding when it's done. Okay, get in there, get in there. Right, I think that's all the parts that I needed to do up to this point in the blue. Make sure I've got into every little recess, because it's got some real crooked parts, this. You know, there's always somewhere you look at it later on and you go, how did I miss that bit? Right, so that's how my crag blue done. Now, next stage. See what I mean? This is why when it comes to these, you know, the silicone brushes, I don't like using them for non-metallics, because I find that they're terrible for staining. I'm going to try and give that a good clean later on to see if I can get the blue out of it, but it can be very problematic as far as I'm concerned. Right. Okay, next I'm going to get my Barrett Burgundy, because I want to make sure that I'm putting a colour on this guy that represents my actual faction. So to do that, I'm going to paint this part here. Stay focused, camera. Stay focused where I want you to. Just trying to get this properly around here. There we go. So what I've done there is I've got this running like so. I'm going to try and get into that little gap here. There we go. Right, that's my purple. Right, now burgundy. Now, what I need to do then is I need to do a little bit of Wraithbone. In order to do the Wraithbone, just gonna go back over that there. You can see where I've kind of got paint in the past. And that little thing there is just to add a bit of the common colours that I'm using. Some Wraithbone on this skull here. What else do I want? My Wraithbone. I think, yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna very gently just do this guy's face in Wraithbone too. Because I think what it'll do is it'll help when I try and make his face look as pale as possible later on. I think it's going funny there. Okay. And then I'll kind of go into a couple of other core areas to finish off. So we need our Abaddon Black. Into the seals. Where else do we need to do blacks? Lots of little black areas on this now, that's the only thing. Loads of little ones to grab hold of. I'm having a look on this. You see, I think one thing in particular I found is like under the hands and things quite often has quite a lot of this finding them all now, making sure I've got all the black areas. On this as well. It says do this in black, so I will. It's probably preparing it for a brown later on, I'm guessing, but we'll see. Okay, now onto the bolt then, I think, as well. I've got to find the right areas on this bolt. Well, it's not a bolt gun, it's a stone bolter, isn't it? Breaking my neck here. Oh, I've not fully recovered, unfortunately, from having my flu, and it's really painful to paint right now, but I'm doing it anyway, because I'm an idiot. So I know there's a few areas that need a second coat. I'm not going to do this while I'm doing the video, because that's just me repeating myself. I've explained about using multiple coats many times. I just feel like doing it over and over. It's probably not stable enough for painting either, but I'm still doing it. How am I like? Okay. What else do we need black? Let me just do a quick run through, make sure I've got everywhere, but I think that's everything. Just happens sometimes. You'll realise later on that you've completely missed something. I think that's it on the black for now, so let's move on to the gold. Our lovely Retributor Armour Gold. Now, where have I put the brush I normally use for this? I hate misplacing brushes. It's so irritating. Is that it? There he is. Right, yeah. It's just my personal preference when it comes to doing these kind of things. I prefer using synthetic brushes for silvers and things. It's just the way I am. Right. No, this isn't my good brush. I have completely misplaced my good brush. I'm very annoyed. Oh no, I'm just gonna have to use my brown brush again. Never mind. I just don't like doing that. Right. What am I like? I think never tidy. The problem with tidying up is you can guarantee you'll lose things. You put things away somewhere safe and you deserve to lose them. This just right. So I've got to get it close enough to the skull, but not so close that it goes over it. Okay, where else then? So over the top of this as well. else do I need for gold? There's always a lot of gold trim things on things like this, but we'll see how far they want us to go. They don't really want us to go completely over the top. There's lots of places where gold trim would look great on this, but I'm going to stick to the tutorial. Oh, I can't wait till my chaplain comes, actually. That should be coming along quite soon, that chaplain. When I get him, I'm going to have fun painting black and gold. Where else do I need to get the gold on the axe? Normally I wouldn't paint decals on an axe until I'd put down the actual main colour of the axe, but okay, so just like that. See how I'm holding my brush very like sideways as I'm going that? Just cuts down the chance of you getting the gold onto the rest of it. Now on the back, and then we can call this done for now. Right, and that's it. That is the Librarian done up to the kind of guide number 6 in the issue. As I said, I'm leaving it there. I won't push it any further because I really want to stick to the guides as much as possible. One thing that I'm finding very strange though, I mean, I feel like, to my mind, personally, these feel like they should be done in gold, but it doesn't tell us to do that, and at this point I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, it's just, it feels like to match the other guy they should be done in gold, but I'm going to leave it and see where we go and see what happens later on. So thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.